So you haven't been able to speak with your mom or your cousins?
No, I have not been able to get in touch with anybody. Last time I spoke with them was about 5 days ago. And they said
right after the bombing began.
Right after the bombing began. And they said everything was quiet in the area they were because they weren't close to any military installations or anything like that at the time. But since then, I got the news that been reading and looking at the map and all of those things that there has been some missiles closer to where they are currently.
Your mom's 85 years old.
Yes, she's 85.
In Tehran.
She's in Tehran.
You said
yes.
She can barely walk. She would have a hard. She is not one of those people fleeing the city.
No, I don't think she would be.
When you spoke with them last 5 days ago, what did she or anybody else tell you about what the mood of the country was? We have heard the Israeli Prime Minister make very overt pleas and addresses to the Iranian people. Now is the time. Rise up, rise up. And yet we see that video of people burning the American flag and chanting death to America. What are you hearing about what's really going on?
What's really going on, about 85 to 90% of the people, ordinary Iranians, are against the government. And what you see on those pictures, those are the religious fanatics that every time something happens, they come to the streets and they start screaming and doing all of that. This is nothing new for Iran. It always happens. A lot of them come from villages, and the government actually sends buses to the villages and gathers these people up and pays them to come to these demonstrations. So I wouldn't take that as the sentiment.
Emblematic of what's happening
right,
there.
Exactly.
If 85 to 90% of Iranians don't like the regime, why hasn't it been toppled? Why haven't the Iranian people managed to do that?
The Iranian regime kind of lives by fear, and they have killed hundreds and thousands of people throughout this last 40 years in Iran. There is actually mass graves in Iran that nobody knows about from the people that were against them. And they basically carry execution. Just this year, they carried out about 1,700 executions.
1,700 public executions.
Public executions.
Where everybody's supposed to come to the downtown and watch them kill somebody.
And watch the hangings and all of that stuff. And the thing is, right now, as I hear from some of my other friends in Iran, that there is police knocking down doors every night, arresting people. Anybody that now the new label is Israeli spies, and they arresting them even if they had nothing to do with Israel, just because of their views and stuff. So the government rules by fear, and it's the fear that drives everything right now.
Do you think that the Iranian people can rise up now that the Iranian regime is on its heels and weakened by Israel?
Absolutely. They can absolutely do that. One of the reasons they cut off the internet is exactly that, because people use the internet to organize things. So you saw that when the Women Life Freedom movement happened in Iran.
That was a couple of years ago. A young woman was imprisoned and died in prison for failing to cover her hair properly.
Right, exactly.
Lots and lots of protests, lots of arrests, and hundreds of deaths. Hundreds
of deaths, yeah, exactly. And the first thing they did, they basically shut down the internet. So now I see that all of the remnants of that movement is now coming back at this point.
You can relate to this. You had to flee Iran when you were 19 years old. You had to sneak across the Turkish border to escape Iran because they were after you.
Yes, absolutely.
Why? You were a troublemaker, as you put it?
I was a big troublemaker in Iran, yes. And I did a lot of things that they didn't like. And we did a lot of protests. We did a lot of different things that I wasn't supposed to do, say it that way, at that time. And there was an execution note out, so I was warned and was able to fortunately get out of the country in time.
And you managed to make it to the United States with $50 in your pocket. You barely spoke English and ended up working for the Army Special Forces.
Yeah, for the Special Operations.
Special Operations. You can't tell me what you did because it's classified.
Right, exactly.
But you speak Arabic and Farsi fluently as well. So I'm sure your skills came in very, very handy. Have you not seen your mother since you fled Iran? I
have. My sister actually lives in Copenhagen in Denmark, and every time I want to see her, she comes over there and I would go. But in the last 2 or 3 years, I haven't been able to see her because of her health, and she can't fly. And so that's just the way it is.
What is your hope for your home country now?
My hope really is for the people to rise up and have a free democratic country and join the world again.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.